Have you ever wondered if the price you pay for something truly reflects its worth? Or is it just a number, a bet that someone else will come along and pay even more? This isn't just a philosophical question. It's a dangerous game played every day in the financial world, a journey many have taken, often with devastating consequences. It's a story of hope turning to despair, of dreams built on sand, a phenomenon known as the greater fool theory. The greater fool theory is a hauntingly simple concept that whispers a seductive promise into the ear of an investor. It describes the speculative frenzy where an investor knowingly buys an asset at an irrationally high price. They aren't buying because they've analyzed the fundamentals or believe in its long-term intrinsic value. No, they're buying based on a single precarious belief that there will always be a greater fool. Out there, someone else blinded by the hype, who will be willing to buy that same asset from them at an even higher price. This theory isn't some abstract academic idea. It's a powerful force that manifests clearly, and often tragically, in the stock market, the world of cryptocurrency, and even in assets we consider tangible and safe. Let's journey into the heart of the markets and see where this theory takes root. The stock market, often seen as a bastion of calculated investment, can transform into a casino during certain periods. This is where the greater fool theory thrives. Think of the meteoric rise of certain hot stocks during market bubbles. These are often companies with glamorous stories, but shaky foundations. Perhaps they retied to a revolutionary new technology, like the dot-com boom or the recent AI wave. Investors, caught in the excitement, pour money into them, driving their prices to astonishing heights. They see a stock with a price-earnings ratio soaring past 100, a company that has yet to turn a single dollar of profit, and yet they buy. They buy with the fervent hope that they can sell it to the next person, the greater fool, for an even more ludicrous price. They're not investing in a business. They're betting on human psychology. To imagine a company that simply announces a new AI initiative. The news may not have any immediate, tangible impact on its revenue or operations, but the story is powerful. Investors, fearing they'll miss out on the next big thing, pile in. They ignore the balance sheets and the cash flow statements, believing that the narrative alone will attract another wave of buyers who will pay more. They are participating in a collective delusion, a game of musical chairs where everyone hopes they whoa and be the one left standing when the music stops. Even more perilous is the speculation around ghost stocks, the shares of companies teetering on the edge of bankruptcy. Logic would dictate these stocks are worthless, but in the distorted world of the greater fool theory, they can become speculative playthings. A coordinated push on social media can artificially pump the price, creating a mirage of opportunity. New, unsuspecting investors are lured in, hoping to surf the wave of momentum and get out with a quick profit. They see the price rising and believe it will continue, unaware that they are buying into a company with no future. The inevitable collapse is swift and brutal, with the price plummeting to its true value, zero. If the stock market is a playground for this theory, the crypto market is its grand coliseum. The greater fool theory is not just an occasional visitor, it's a resident, its principles woven into the very fabric of speculative tokens and meme coins. Consider the birth of a new token, often inspired by a fleeting internet meme. It has no underlying technology, no real-world utility, no problem it's trying to solve. Its value is derived purely from hype, from a relentless promotional campaign on social media, and from the raw, unfiltered expectation that a horde of new buyers is just around the corner, ready to pay a higher price. The story is a familiar one. A new coin is launched with an infinitesimally small market capitalization. Influencers and anonymous accounts begin to champion it online, creating a whirlwind of excitement. The price doesn't just climb, it skyrockets, multiplying by hundreds, even thousands of times in a matter of days. Those who jump in at the peak, seeing the parabolic chart and dreaming of life-changing wealth, are the ultimate participants in this game. They aren't buying because they believe this meme coin will revolutionize finance. They are buying in the desperate hope of offloading it onto the next wave of followers, the greater fools drawn in by the same vertiginous price action. This cycle is supercharged by an overwhelming sense of FOMO, the fear of missing out. Crypto forums and social media channels become echo chambers of success stories, amplifying the noise and drowning out the whispers of caution. People see screenshots of massive gains and act on pure emotion, abandoning rational analysis for a chance at a lottery ticket. They join the herd, not wanting to be the one left behind, tragically unaware that in this stampede, the ones at the back are destined to be trampled. But this isn't just a story about digital assets and volatile stocks. The greater fool theory has seeped into the foundations of traditional finance as well, affecting assets that feel solid and secure beneath our feet. Think of a real estate bubble. As housing prices begin to climb steadily, a shift in mindset occurs. People start buying homes not as a place to live, a sanctuary for their families, but as a speculative investment. They buy with the sole intention of flipping the property, convinced that the market will continue its relentless upward march and that a future buyer will gladly pay a premium. This collective belief fuels the fire, pushing prices far beyond what average incomes can support, creating a bubble that is beautiful and shimmering, yet fragile and destined to pop. The same principle applies to the world of collectibles. A rare painting, an antique piece of furniture, or even a pair of limited edition sneakers can see their values inflated to astronomical levels. Their worth becomes detached from any utility or inherent artistic merit. Instead, their value is dictated entirely by the consensus of a small, passionate community and the belief that someone, somewhere, will always be willing to pay more. The owner isn't appreciating the art. They're holding an asset, waiting for the greater fool to validate their purchase by making an even more extravagant one. So why does this theory hold such powerful sway over us? Why do so many people, time and time again, fall into this trap, a journey that so often ends in financial ruin? The reasons are deeply, uncomfortably human. At the core are two of our most powerful emotions: greed and fear. Greed is the siren song of quick, effortless wealth, the dream of turning a small stake into a fortune overnight. Fear is its shadow, the gnawing anxiety of missing out, of watching others get rich while you stand on the sidelines. Together, they create a potent cocktail that clouds judgment and encourages rash decisions. This emotional vulnerability is compounded by a lack of knowledge. Many investors, especially those new to the markets, are not equipped with the tools or the time to perform in-depth analysis. They cannot easily assess the intrinsic value of an asset to separate a genuine opportunity from a hollow story. They become reliant on headlines, on social media buzz, on the hot tips from a friend. They are navigating a storm without a compass. In our modern world, the rapid and unfiltered spread of information acts as a powerful accelerant. A speculative story, a rumor, or a piece of viral marketing can circle the globe in minutes, creating a powerful crowd effect. People feel a sense of safety in numbers, believing that if everyone is buying, it must be the right thing to do. This herd mentality is the engine of the greater fool theory, propelling bubbles to ever greater heights. But here is the unchanging, inevitable truth of this journey. The greater fool theory is a game that always ends. The supply of greater fools is not infinite. Eventually, the music stops. The bubble collapses. And those who bought at the highest prices, the ones who made the final most optimistic bet, are left holding a worthless asset. They are the ones who suffer the heavy losses, their dreams of quick riches dissolving into the harsh reality of their mistake. The path to true, sustainable success in investing is not a sprint. It is a marathon. It is a journey of overcoming the temptation of the crowd and the allure of the easy win. The wise investor, the one who ultimately finds success, learns to quiet the noise. They turn away from assets whose prices are built on the fragile hope of finding a greater fool. Instead, they embark on a different journey, a more difficult but far more rewarding one. They focus on intrinsic value, on diligent research, on understanding the business behind the stock or the utility behind the asset. They look for sustainable growth, for solid foundations, for a story built not on hype, but on substance. It's a path that requires patience, discipline, and the courage to stand apart from the frenzied crowd. It is the journey from being a fool to becoming an investor.